Other interesting cultural news, you have Disney cutting a trans storyline from a children's cartoon, which, going back the clock 6 months ago, I mean, I would have never thought they would do this. Disney has been leaning into what most people are calling the woke madness for almost, what was it, a couple of years now. The fact that they're backpedaling on one of these storylines, I think is a sure tale sign that the cultural shift is happening in America, and Disney may actually want to make money again, which I don't think they've done for quite a few years. They're really good at burning through money and just losing money on all their media. The parks are their saving grace. They've made a pretty good profit on the parks past fiscal quarters. But yeah, when you look at all the things, especially Kathleen Kennedy's touches, she seems to have the opposite of King Midas's touch, where King Midas, fun story back in the day, everything he touched would turn to gold. In Kathleen Kennedy's case, everything she touched turned to woke crap and lost money. So instead of gold, perhaps lead, which is mostly hazardous and really only good for insulation of radiation and bullets. Actually, no. Lead actually has more value than Kathleen Kennedy, so perhaps not the best metaphor. Even depleted uranium can be used for depleted tank busting rounds. And manure can be used for, fertilizer. Hard to think of a physical product or service more inept or worse than Kathleen Kennedy and how she's destroyed Lucasfilm, Indiana Jones and Star Wars and a lot of the intellectual property. If you get a question in the comments, what's more useless than Kathleen Kennedy? Surely there's something out there. Can't help but think of anything at the moment, but let me know. Now, diving into the article, this is first reported, well, we'll look at the comments on X, Twitter, because that's where most of them are, but this was written by Liam Riley, who is at CNN Business, which, again, somehow, still in business. Now, he says, quote, Disney cuts transgender storyline from the new animated series. And here you can see a weird kid playing baseball with a giant, like a fat ghost on his back, which, I don't know, is that supposed to be a representation of anxiety, I suppose? Now, diving into the specific story here, they say, quote, Disney has cut a transgender storyline from its animated series Win or Lose ahead of the show's release. The original animated series from Disney-owned Pixar centers around a co-ed, well, here's a red flag already, a co-ed middle school softball team. Ridiculous. It's called The Pickles. Even more ridiculous. Is the run-up to the group's championship game. Each of the series' 8 episodes, which will begin rolling out on Disney Plus on February 19th, will focus on a different member of the Pickles. Wow, what a name. With the storyline involving gender identity no longer being included, the character will remain in the series, a person familiar with the matter told CNN, adding that the decision to remove the plot was made a couple of months ago. Still, the announcement is not as simple as crossing lines off the script since the character's dialogue was already recorded. Disney said in a statement, when it comes to anime content for a younger audience, we recognize that many parents would prefer to discuss certain subjects with their children on their own terms and timeline, which... Did they finally get the message? Did they finally... Why are they having this realization? Is it because Trump not just won the Electoral College, but the popular vote? Can't help but think probably that, in addition to them, again, losing money on pretty much every movie they made past couple years. It's almost impressive how bad they've become in terms of just pushing out garbage. And again, I'm actually fascinated. Disney specifically said, we recognize that many parents. I'm actually surprised they didn't use one of those BS terms like life partners or something like that, which leftists are notorious for. Now, the CNN continues saying, quote, the announcement comes after the re-election of former Donald J. Trump, who has rallied against diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives and become a cause celebrity of the right. Now, scrolling down more and more, yeah, they bring up how in 2022, they inserted the gay kiss into Lightyear, which is a prequel to Toy Story. And hilarious enough in terms of hypocrisy, Disney's all about the LGBTQIA plus Banana Falcon, and yet they censored that part of Toy Story or Lightyear in Saudi Arabia and other countries where it's frowned upon in terms of those types of content. However, if they were authentic with the content and really wanted to push this out more, I would argue they'd be consistent across every market in the globe. So it shows that they still care about profit a little bit, but overall I think they still much more care about the messaging. Now, going to the internet here, thanks to Libs of TikTok, we got some extraordinarily good comments. She says, quote, breaking, Disney has decided to pull a transgender storyline from their upcoming Pixar streaming series, Win or Lose. And they have that same quote about the parents. Now, scrolling the comments, they got, again, 1.7 million views and 36,000 likes. The first comments comes from Based Electrician, who says, quote, this is a complete opposite of the Disney business model over the past decade. What changed? Getting 809 likes. Yep. Valentina Gomez says, quote, what? Let me zoom in there. Or adjust that. She says, quote, let's all end this gay trans ship once and for all, getting 5.6 thousand likes. Cool Christian Engineer says they knew it. This is a quote from Ben Carlson, apparently saying, quote, or it says Ben Carlson promoting transgenderism to minors is child abuse, getting 2.1 thousand likes. AKA says, quote, happy these companies are getting it now, getting 549 likes. Cool Christian Engineer also says Emily will watch. There's a picture of a jacked guy with muscles larger than most men's thighs. And says, quote, this is Emily. Emily wants to join the girls' football team. Emily can't because of the transphobic rules, getting 540 likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, we're winning back the culture, getting 227 likes. Tara Bull says we're winning, getting 478 likes. Let's see here. Effinies 612 not a game says too little too late. And instead of the Disney logo, it's the Disney logo, but instead of saying Disney in text, it says groomers, getting 191 likes. Sarcassus the Impaler says, quote, translation, we here at Disney tried to ram our political beliefs up your ass since before Frozen 2 and its crappy songs and anti-white scolding, but we lost a lot of money over the years and we are now backtracking on the whole idea. Getting 310 likes. Trump and Musk, the alignment account, says, quote, Disney is a disgusting company. If Democrats had won, they would have continued their woke grooming. Getting 624 likes, which, yeah, I tend to believe that as well. Mark says, can't say they had their hard turn, he says, quote, can't say their hard turn to woke has been a profitable endeavor. That's how bad they want to punish their agenda on the kids, which he shows the stock 5-year trend going down at 33.86%, getting 220 likes. Going down more and more. One bad dude says not good enough. It should have never happened, getting 970 likes. Scrolling down, let's see if there's any contrarian statements here. Not too many. Most people just continue to roast Disney. Also have Go Ask Alice says Disney still has a lot to clean up in the realm of printing transgenderism with their children, thanks to this kind of shows you the undercover work of James O'Keefe, which, I mean, they also discriminate against hiring folks as well. That's right. Interestingly enough, didn't go really viral. It was in the news cycle for a day or two. David Krim says, quote, I hope they are realizing it, but they also have to remove those pushing the agenda from within the company. They have too many activists working at Disney who won't stop pushing their woke agenda. 147 likes, which that's going to be their biggest issue. They push out pretty much anyone who is even moderately conservative out of the company years ago. Never forget, they also had a DEI journal that they forced employees to keep, which is also illegal. They basically pestered employees and said, what are you doing outside the office to push initiatives? Like, what's your DEI progress? What are the initiatives you're doing? So they literally asked employees to keep a journal of what they do out of the office, which, yeah, it's pretty creepy. Bruce Bilal says Disney will continue to groom behind the scenes. I'm sure getting 127 likes. Which, yeah, never forget to. I'm a big proponent of actually having VHS tapes and DVDs or Blu-rays, physical media that can't be altered that you can actually preview before you show your kids. Because, Lord knows I wouldn't trust Disney to not do a quick update on the streaming platform and insert some crap you don't want your kids seeing. And these days, I mean, shoot, you should. I would argue you need to preview pretty much everything before you put it in front of the kids, just to be safe. Again, this is a big sign. I think, culturally speaking, we are moving in the right direction in the United States. I suspect maybe Disney will continue, but let me know your thoughts are. Do you think Disney will actually, stop putting this stuff in kids' materials? Do you think this was just a temporary thing for this one show? Let me know your thoughts are, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you can click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.